famous translator once said, "There are books that, even at 70 or 80 years old, remain very young." This is truly the perfect statement to describe the adult fairy tale masterpiece, The Little Prince. This is also a book that has deeply moved and influenced me personally. Behind each fairy tale it brings, we recognize the nature of desire present in every person in the adult world. What seems like a thin book with simple language is actually a soothing medicine for the entire world. After reading The Little Prince, we understand that the deepest wisdom is often contained in the purest souls. Let's clean up from the outside. The Little Prince lives on planet B612, a tiny planet with very few things, just 2 active volcanoes. Every day he must wake up early to clean the volcanoes and remove the seeds of the baobab trees. These seeds arrive unintentionally with the winds and would be terrifying because they have the power to grow monstrously. If not cleaned up in time, his tiny planet would soon be devastated by crazy growing baobab trees. Although baobab trees could bring life to his empty planet, attract migratory birds, or shield from the burning sunlight, he still regularly cleans them up. In reality, our lives also have many such baobab trees. Clothes worn only once or twice that fill our wardrobes, books untouched gathering dust on shelves, discounted items purchased but rarely used, sometimes piled in some corner. In psychology, there's an effect called the Diderot effect, which indicates that we always spend money on things we don't really need. When you buy something new, you tend to continue buying things you think go with it to achieve psychological balance. For example, you buy a new outfit and suddenly realize you need new shoes or a bag to match it. You buy a sofa set and realize the wallpaper in the living room doesn't match the tone. In today's age of material desire, we are unconsciously drawn into excessive consumption trends. We rarely consider simplifying, reducing, or eliminating. Instead, we always want to accumulate, upgrade, and create more material things. The author of the book, Minimalist Living, Akira Mayumi, once said that owning an object means you have to expend your energy on it, but we are rarely aware of this. Whether life is wonderful or not doesn't depend on how many things you have, but how much time you have to make yourself happy. If our hearts day by day are obscured by material desires and we tirelessly chase after them, perhaps unknowingly we will miss the happy things in our current life, and it may even make us more tired, exhausted, and suffering. To find the true essence of life, we must clean up from the outside and regularly remove the baobab trees in our own lives. Let go of desire. Before arriving on Earth, the Little Prince had passed through 6 small planets and met 6 strange adults. The first adult he met was a king, living on a planet where only he ruled. The king issued strict decrees to subjects he imagined, like a nail, fixing himself on the golden throne, gripping the scepter with both hands all day without moving a step. Seeing this, the Little Prince became frightened and hurriedly said goodbye. Another adult the Little Prince met was a peculiar merchant. He added up figures on a calculator, wrote receipts every day, and locked them in a drawer. The Little Prince wondered who the merchant was working with. The merchant said he was counting the stars in the sky were the money he deposited in the bank. He was immersed in the desire for money and couldn't escape. His whole life, he had been stuck at his desk, living like a counting machine. Whether kings or merchants, these adults are not much different from those of us falling into a bottomless pit where the desires for status and money lead us to dive in head first. Once we sink deep into this pit, people will feel never satisfied. And isn't that the greatest tragedy in everyone's life? When people have too many desires, they will definitely become moths to the flame of desire, led by fame and fortune, constantly flying without ever seeing the destination, only to be left exhausted. We have no time to perceive, to experience the things that exist on our own path, and the meaning of life is increasingly missed. Let go of unworthy relationships. The Little Prince finally reached Earth and landed in an uninhabited desert. For many days, he didn't see a single person. He shouted in the lonely valley and heard only the echo of his own voice. To escape loneliness, he poured his heart out to anyone he met, but the result was only disappointment. He gave his all to the snake, But the snake heartlessly wanted to eat him. He enthusiastically told his past to the railway worker, but the man ignored him. He met the seller of thirst-quenching pills, but that person only wanted to trick him into buying his medicine. To avoid loneliness, the little prince tried his best to get to know everyone on Earth, but those distant, indifferent people only hoped to benefit themselves. Until he met the fox accompanied him to the sand dunes to watch the sunset together. They shared their thoughts and feelings. The fox told the little prince that what is truly valuable cannot be seen with the eyes, but only with the heart. From the fox, the little prince, for the first time, felt sincerity and kindness. At this point, the loneliness in his heart suddenly disappeared. Have you ever found yourself in meaningless social situations like the little prince? When lonely, I want to find a friend to talk to, but after scrolling through my contacts, I quietly turn off my phone. When in trouble, friends who once ate and played together instantly become strangers. As the years pass, we discover that the people who can truly be our friends are very few. Instead of blindly expanding our social network, we should narrow it down and save our energy only for those who deserve it. The sincerity of 2 or 3 bosom friends is always 100,000 times better than the noise of ordinary friends out there. Keep your heart clear. After saying goodbye to the fox, the little prince walked aimlessly. Fatigue and bitterness burned like fire, making him uncomfortable. The wind and sand made him unwilling to open his eyes. A few days later, he met a pilot who had landed in the desert. Being stranded in the desert for 8 days made the pilot extremely worried. In his mind appeared enough tragic scenes. The engine still couldn't be fixed. What to do? Who would complete the mission? Flights were delayed. Would there be enough drinking water until tomorrow? Life has too many regrets, and when about to run out of water, the pilot completely collapsed with a high fever. Meanwhile, the little prince was completely the opposite. He wasn't worried at all. He went looking for water, and on the way he looked up at the starry sky and chatted with the pilot about his wonderful journeys. Just like that, in comfort and conversation, he discovered a water source and helped the pilot escape danger. In life, each of us will be attacked by 2 arrows. The first arrow hits us from the outside world, the difficulties and failures we often encounter. The second arrow is the arrow we shoot at ourselves, the negative emotions we create. That arrow is always ready to stab you when your heart is confused and disturbed by negative thoughts. Psychologist Arthur once said that no one lives in an objective world. There is never a complex situation in life, only a complex mind. From simple to complex is easy, but to shed complexity and return to simplicity is always difficult. That process requires temperance and awareness in you. But only when you resolve to shed excess material desires and thoughts can you see your true self. If you find this video useful, support Adventure Life with a like and share it with those who need it. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to receive the next videos. May we all shed chaos, live simply, dispel the fog of material desires or indifference, and embrace our own little prince.